What is up, everyone? Today, I want to give you a few of my favorite Christian YouTube content creators. In this channel, we like to equip you with resources and talk about a bunch of different things. And one of the resources we want to give is if you're on YouTube, if you're watching this video, then perhaps you may be interested in finding some other Christian content creators that can be beneficial and be a blessing to your life. And that is coming up. How everyone is doing? I hope everyone is well. My name is Reynaldo Ramos with VineMedia, and we are a fairly new YouTube channel. And me and my wife just have a desire um, to really equip people and help people. But we also want to, and part of that desire is to try to um, push people to all of the resources that we use or would use. And so I want to go over a few Christian YouTube content creators. Now, these aren't looking at like pastors or churches' YouTube pages, which I also follow and look at. And it's not looking at like really big public figures that are Christians that also do YouTube. And it's not looking at other people like Bible Project, for instance, who also does YouTube and whatnot. These are people who are either in ministry, either pastors or were in ministry at one point. And then you have some artists as well. But one of their main thrust and what one of their main callings right now is the online creative space. And that's what we want to share with you today. So I want to jump straight in and share with you the first YouTube Christian YouTuber that I would hope for you to check out. And it is called What Do You Meme? What Do You Meme is the first one. And so what he does is he looks at cultural, relevant, new, current things happening in our world today, and he speaks about them with a Christian lens. He also speaks about them with an apologetic lens, and it's not apologetic so much as like academic rigor apologetics. It's really practical apologetical type of stuff, and looking at and through the lens of what's happening in the world today. And so you could see that right here in his channel. He's going to be talking about Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and Kanye West and things like that. And so he's going to go through all of those things. Fairly big Christian YouTuber, 219,000 subscribers. And I would recommend that you check him out if those sort of topics are interesting to you. Most of his videos would range in the shorter span of things. I would say less than 10 minutes. He has some videos that are a bit longer, but most of his videos range in the shorter time frame, and so that might work for you. The next YouTube content creator that I want you guys to check out is in the same sort of avenue. And when I say that, it's in the same avenue of apologetics, and that is capturing Christianity. Capturing Christianity is apologetics, but in the more academic sense of apologetics. And so what he does is he makes videos about some arguments about the existence of God and more of the academic apology type of stuff that you would learn in a classroom. And then what he also does, and this is what I love about it, is he'll actually interview a lot of people. And so he'll interview top Christian apologists such as Frank Turek and William Lane Craig and those types of people. But he also does interviews with people from even different faith perspectives. He'll have interviews with a Catholic and talk about the differences between the Protestant and Catholic faith, and he'll have different types of interviews. He even has an interview. I think it's his latest video. He has an interview where it's two Christian scientists, a Christian immunologist, and a Christian biologist that discuss the COVID-19 vaccine, which is a hot topic. And so I really love his content. Most of his content is longer form because it is interview based, so over an hour type of stuff. But he does sometimes break down some of his interviews into shorter snippets, so you can kind of catch those in 5 to 10 minute type of windows if an hour's tough for you. All right, moving right along, the next Christian YouTuber and Christian content creator I want to share with you is perhaps the biggest YouTube page that I'm sharing with you today, and that is Mike Winger. Mike Winger has 340,000 subscribers. He's been doing this. He's been doing YouTube creation for, I believe, for over 10 years. So he's one of the like OG Christian YouTubers. He was a pastor in ministry. He did youth ministry and moved to this space. He still does ministry, but I like his content because he takes, in his approach and what he speaks on, he takes a very pastoral approach. And I really love that. And I really appreciate his approach to it. And so he has a lot of different videos. His content is also longer formed. He does a lot of live streaming, and so he'll deal with a pastoral or theological issue, and then he also does this thing. I believe he does it at least once a week, for sure once a month, where he does 20 questions right here, 20 questions with Pastor Mike, and he'll take questions from the live stream and kind of go through those things. And it's really good because he deals with a lot of questions that a lot of Christians might deal with. He deals with a lot of things in scripture that are a little bit harder to deal with. And that's why I think it's awesome, because he takes a much more pastoral approach in his approach to making Christian content. The next Christian YouTuber I want to share with you, we went from the largest one on this list, at least, to the smallest one on this current list. And I mean, compared to us, all of these channels are big, because we're a smaller YouTube channel, just starting less than a year ago. And so for me to say he's small, he's not small, but compared to the other guys, he's smaller. And this is Pastor Roy Dockery. He has about 2,000, just under 2,400 subscribers. And he has a pastoral heart as well. But he is also a poet. And so he has that creative side of it. And so he does some poetry on these videos. So some of his shorter videos are that it's a topic, and he kind of writes a poem. And so, but he has other types of videos as well, and it ranges that in length from 10 minutes to about 30 minutes. So it's somewhere in that mid spot, and he kind of deals with he likes to call it, and you see it on his title there, the savage truth. And so that's what his approach to creating content online as a follower of Christ. I got one more Christian YouTuber that I wanted to recommend to you. But if you are still here and you find any value in the content that we are creating, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. We would love to grow our channel to someday, one day, be on someone else's list. Because we just really want to resource people. We really want to see people excel in their faith journey and in following Christ. And so we'd love for you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with your friends if you have and find any value in what we are doing. All right. So the last Christian YouTuber I want to share with you is someone who is, I've actually been on probably the longest out of all of these uh, pages, and it's Ruslan. Ruslan is it just surpassed 100,000 subscribers, and he's unique in two senses. One, he is a Christian hip hop artist, and he been making Christian hip hop music for well over a decade, and in that space and in that realm. But about I want to say 3 to 5 years ago or so, he's moved and concentrated more on the Christian content creation. And then obviously in 2020, when the pandemic hit, he really hit it hard. And this is really what he's doing. He's going all in on. And the other thing that makes him very unique is he is live streaming daily, every single day. He is posting a video, and sometimes he's posting multiple videos on a day. And these range from everything. These range from current cultural things that are happening in our world. And it also moves into interviews, and he'll interview other Christian content creators. He'll interview pastors. He'll interview people that he disagrees with, and they have a conversation about some of those things. And he also he doesn't do it as much, but he also used to bring in about 4 or 5 other Christian YouTube content creators and have kind of like a roundtable discussion on some verses that are commonly misinterpreted. And I love that series that they did and had those conversations about. And so Ruslan is awesome in what he does in representing Christ in this space. Now, with all of these Christian YouTube content creators, with all of them, I wouldn't say that in every single creator, it means that I agree with every single thing they say 100% of the time. Most of us are going to have those 1 or 2 things, whether it be culturally, personally, or theologically, that we would say, I don't really see it that way, or I don't agree here, or I look at the interpretation of scripture a little bit differently. And that's okay. But that's why I want to present all these people to you, so you can grow. And I think we're better when we grow together. I think we're better when we don't just stay in our silo, but we expand ourselves. I'm constantly trying to find people that can feed into my life, both personally. And so being a part of a local church is important, and connecting with people and friends, and that's really, really important. But also in this type of world we're living in, a technologically advanced world that we live in, it's also important to use technology to our advantage. And so finding these type of Christian YouTubers is extremely important. And so I pray that this is a blessing to you. I pray that you would check those out and other YouTube content creators. And again, if you find any value, if you would subscribe and share our content so we can hopefully grow and be on somebody else's list at some point. Well, I hope you have a blessed day. Remember to stay connected to the vine that is Jesus, and we will see you next time.